welcome to another edition of the Field I am Janice Johnson Pemida, and our topic for today is on enhancing students' interest in mathematics, challenges and solutions. Enhancing students' interest in mathematics, challenges and solutions. Mathematics has always been regarded as a fundamental subject. However, maths has a widespread reputation for being the subject students hate most. It is not uncommon to hear, "I hate math class, math is too hard, it's too difficult and all that, it's boring," and so many things. You hear all those things from students who are struggling with the subject. But what causes so many students to dislike mathematics? What can be done to ensure more students see how fun and fulfilling it can be? Well, today, our guest speakers, who are representatives from the Mathematics Association of Nigeria, will be educating us on this topic. You are welcome to University Press.
Thank you very much.
All right, so as mentioned earlier, our topic for today is enhancing students' interest in mathematics, challenges and solutions. Before we go into the very proper, can you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Dr. S. Adeniel. An immediate past president of the Mathematical Association of Nigeria and a retired associate professor.
I'm Mrs. Teresa Oluyemisi Afolabi. I'm the present chairman of the Mathematical Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter. I've been a mathematics teacher all my service years with the government, and after that, presently, I'm in charge of a group of schools, private schools, nursery, primary, secondary. Good morning.
I am Dr. Aliyu Taiwo, the immediate past special assistant to the immediate past national president, that's Dr. Adeniel. Currently, I'm the state business manager, Mathematical Association of Nigeria State Chapter. A TESCOM official, presently working with the Oyo State government.
Good to have you all here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so, what can you say Mathematics Association is all about in Nigeria? Tell us a little bit about your association.
Our association, Mathematical Association of Nigeria, is a non-governmental organization that is out to cater for its members. The members are all mathematicians. To be a member of the association, you are supposed to have read mathematics or you are mathematically inclined, and we cater for the interest of our members in the area of mathematical thoughts, and we share opinions and we train our members. We train ourselves nationally and locally. We organize workshops for mathematics teachers. We train mathematics teachers to teach better, and we do research, mathematical research, and we organize conferences, and we publish mathematical materials like textbooks, journals, mathematics journals, and everything to make the teaching of mathematics and teaching and learning of mathematics better. These are all that interest us in our association.
Mathematics is considered a very vital subject at every level of education. So we see people, we place a lot of importance on mathematics. So why is that so? Why is it so important?
Thank you very much. Mathematics actually is a very, very important subject, in the sense that there is mathematics in every other subject. You need mathematical concept in every other subject. And when you even talk of the sciences, mathematics is the bedrock of all science subjects. And you find out that you find mathematics in every area of life. There is no area of life that you don't make use of the knowledge or concept of mathematics in one way or another.
For example, if you talk about law, the lawyers are using logic to give judgment.
Yes.
So they are using mathematical concepts in, passing out their judgments on their clients.
So over the years, there has been this instant poor achievement in mathematics among Nigerian students, and I think it's mainly due to lack of interest in the subject, or maybe people have a strong phobia in the subject. What do you think are the factors leading to that?
Well, there are many factors that one can attribute to lack of interest in mathematics. One, the background information given to students can be a factor. That mathematics is difficult. So, two, parental influence can make students to hate mathematics or not to like mathematics. Three, there are bad method of teaching can also make students not to have interest in mathematics. There are other factors. There are some facilities that may not be available enough for students to learn mathematics. In fact, recently we were discussing with one of the commissioners for education in one of the states, and we were saying that there is need for mathematics laboratory where students will need to practicalize mathematics. And one of the things that makes students not to have interest is because they have not been able to evolve concepts by themselves. And it is only when they go through such things in the laboratory that they will be able to evolve such concepts. Mathematics models, mathematics formulas, and so on, they are supposed to be discovered by students themselves. But they see some of these things as formula that are given to them to cram and so on. And that makes it burdensome. They are not involved in the discovery of the concept itself. So those are some of the reasons why the factors that may make students not to be well interested in mathematics. In addition to that, I said poor teaching of mathematics, because there are some a lot of schools have no mathematics teachers, that is mathematics graduate teachers. They have teachers of mathematics who are just bypass. Okay, you study geography, you study chemistry, I should be able to teach mathematics, and so on. So it makes students, when such a person handles the subject, they won't handle it properly the way it's supposed to be handled, with the good method that is needed to teach. So automatically it makes the person to lack interest or to lose interest in the subject.
So what's MAN as an association doing about this situation?
Very good. MAN has been doing a lot. One, we have involved our teachers in workshops and seminars to teach seemingly difficult concepts. We don't call them, they call it difficult concept. But they are not difficult concepts. They are concepts that seems to be difficult. So we call it seemingly difficult concept. So we teach them seemingly difficult concept so that they can go and teach the student. That's train the trainer workshops to be able to actually take students through proper method and easy ways of understanding. Let me just give you an example that mathematics teaching for good understanding must proceed from concrete to semi-concrete to abstract. Okay, let me just take a simple example of multiplication. When you talk, you don't tell students that you want to do multiplication. If you ask anybody, what is multiplication of the children, they will say times, or they will say product. If it is advanced, they don't know what multiplication itself is. So it is when you go through the practicals of it. Maybe you have bottle tops, 2, 2, 2, they lay it down. Take this one, put together with this, it becomes 2 in 2 places. Take another 2 here and put it 2 in 3 places. Take another 2 in 4 places, and so on. Then ask the student, what are we doing? He will tell you, we are adding repeatedly. Okay? We are adding 2 repeated. So you can now say, what we are going to study is repeated addition, which is referred to as multiplication. That is when it is meaningful. You have started with the concrete to show that this is what is to be done. So it must proceed from concrete to semi-concrete and to abstract if good understanding had to be developed. As we said, they are not available, but we make the teacher to improvise. They improvise from within what they can get in their environment. The only thing is that some teachers are very lazy. They are waiting for the ones that the government will purchase and bring. But there are other little things that can be used within the environment. You want to teach rectangle. There are many objects in the class that are rectangular. You don't need to go and borrow or buy something rectangle from outside before you teach that. Even the laptop that is set before you is rectangular. The windows is rectangular, and so on. The tables that the people are,
textbooks,
and so on. They are all rectangular. So if a teacher takes it from there, it will be of help to the student. So in terms of equipment, yes, we don't have enough. We have also implored the government to provide a lot of such materials, we call it the teaching aids, to the schools so that students will be able to learn appropriately well. Then, apart from the teachers, the government are being advised, we also encourage the parents parents to help their pupils in getting some of the materials that are needed to help them understand, which they can use at home for their practicals.
Can we now attribute some of these issues also to lack of competent educators?
Well, partly I've said it, that one, when you bring an history teacher to come and teach mathematics, automatically, I mean, you should know what you should expect at the end. Some they will say, you at least you got credit in your mathematics in the O level. You should be able to teach. So that's what happens actually, and the person will not refuse. So, but when he's handling it, will he handle it as a mathematician or as just as he likes it or as he knows it? That's it.
I think, sir, I want to quickly say this too. Even from the time of curriculum formulation, if you look at those people that the governments are employing to formulate mathematics curriculum, you will see a Yoruba professor there. You will see a CRS professor there. Why? Because they have a connection with the presidency, because they have a connection with the body of people who are in charge of curriculum formulation. And so they will come, bring those things together, but by the time it gets to the layman who intends to appropriate or make use of the curriculum, then we find a lot of flaws in the curriculum. So, though we are blaming teachers, of course, because what happens at the top happens at the lower level too. Because mathematics teachers are very scarce. People are not studying mathematics, and then they want to use people who probably they say, I had C6 in mathematics, just like my boss has said. They want to say, come on, history person, come and take mathematics. So from the top down the drain, you observe that the whole system is rotten. And so definitely it's going to affect the performance of students in that area.
I would also want to add a point, which is the fact that lack of job has driven a lot of people into teaching job. A lot of people see teaching job as an alternative to whatever they went to university to study, and they now believe that once they can carry the children along, they can teach mathematics very well. You find out that they cannot cope with all the subjects or all the topics in mathematics. A lot of topics there will be there which they cannot cope with. Definitely, there is need even to sanitize the teaching system, the type of people who will come into teaching. A lot of them are not even trained. They are not educators. You talked about competent educators. They are not educated. They didn't go for education. They didn't read education. So there is no form of training about how to train, how to teach. They just found themselves in teaching line just because there is no job. It affects the teaching of mathematics a lot.
And so what can be done in that case to solve this problem?
That is part of the things that Mathematical Association of Nigeria is all about. Getting even teachers, even people that went that read mathematics, getting them trained to know how to teach it, how to deliver properly. There are a lot of topics, even the ones that seems easy. If you don't teach it properly, if you don't present it well, the children will never get it.
I want to employ the government too. You see, when we are talking about poor performance and how can this be solved, just like my boss said, we must have a good enabling environment. If you get to some of these public schools, you see a good number of them sitting on the floor, while the master teacher teaches on the board. So how best do you think those students are going to grab? It's very difficult. So the enabling environment must be there. Availability of instructional materials must be there. The teaching inquiry method of teaching too, which Mathematical Association of Nigeria is actually doing that for all mathematics teachers, to teach them, to train them on how best to use the best inquiry teaching method to disseminate mathematical concept. And so once all these are done, the government coming to the aid of the school, they are providing adequate. Oyo State government is trying to its best, but however, infrastructural problems are there. Get to some of these public schools. We are not talking about private school. Public school, see a lot of things: no light, no electricity, and today COVID-19 has actually taken us to another realm entirely. All this face-to-face mathematics, people are now going on online. But the situation in Nigeria, does it welcome such an idea? Can we teach online? Do we have the electricity? Do we have the internet facility? Do we have all it takes to teach mathematics effectively? Because we are living the modern era to the ICT era. How ready is the readiness of the mathematics teachers who are even competent, but they are unable because they're handicapped? They do not have what it takes to teach what they know.
In addition to that, the teacher needs good incentives to be able to actually deliver their subjects or topics properly. If somebody is not well taken care of, you can't be thinking of giving it the best. Some of the teachers are employed by parent teachers association, because they don't want their children not to actually have anything. Instead of not having anything at all, let us appeal to the parent teachers association so that they can help us get some teachers, and they get them on part-time basis for such work. And you cannot expect that they will also give the best in those circumstances, because their tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's just for now. We can make use of you. So those are some of the things that we can suggest. We cannot suggest to the government to actually speed up action in employing trained mathematics teachers.
And also parents, we want to sincerely talk to them too, because you see some of these students too, even if all those things are on ground and the pupils or the students who want to teach, they are not ready. For example, somebody who has a broken home, the father is somewhere else, the mother is somewhere else, who after school will go and learn a trade, and then you give a work to them, you give an assignment to them, and the students get to his place of work till 7, 8 p.m., gets back home, he's tired, he eats, go to bed, the second day rush, come to school. How do you think such students, if you have the best teacher in mathematics to handle such, imagine the situation of that child. So there are so many things that are encompassing, that are actually affecting, the teaching or the performance of students in this aspect of mathematics too. Because if we are talking about the government, we are talking about the teachers, good educators, well trained, man is also doing his own. But what about the girl child? What about the boy child? What about the family, the parent? Are they coming from an enabling home? Do they have all it takes for them to study when an assignment is given to them? Were they encouraged to do those assignments? What aspects are the parent doing to enhance the performance of students? Not only in mathematics, in all subjects. And so parents and pupils, we were talking to one of them who said 2 o'clock is off for the training. What kind of training? I'm into fashion designing. I'm learning how to sell medicine. If somebody who has not finished secondary school selling medicine, and somebody comes and says, I'm having headache, he gives him Flagyl for headache, and then the whole thing is collapsed. So we need to equally talk to the parents. To parents who are, divorcing, they don't know that when 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers. when mothers and fathers fight, the child in between them suffers. So we need to put all this into consideration so that mathematics will come up in a better form.
So, apart from MAN association, is there any other regulatory body or association that sees it that teachers of mathematics in Nigeria adopt the right approach towards teaching the subject?
It is not in the constitution of an association to be a regulatory body. It is the job of the Ministry of Education, who are supposed to have supervisors and advisor or counselors, those who will go and make sure that, one, they appoint the right people, and two, after appointing the right people, to see that they are teaching what is supposed to be taught. Because if somebody is in school, nobody comes to see. I think it's TESCOM, where you have those supervisors that go to school to see what are being taught in school. But for the association can only speak or advise the government to make sure that they send people to monitor what they are doing in schools. That's what the association can do.
So TESCOM monitors the teachers, Ministry of Education, they are in charge of the infrastructures and the students. So what goes wrong with them is the business of the ministry. While teachers are monitored by TESCOM Teaching Service Commission to ensure they teach what they are supposed to teach.
Presently, can we say that our mathematics students in Nigeria can measure up to the world standard?
Yeah, I think yes. I remember one of a MAN member happens to be the best graduating students in mathematics in Thailand. And presently, there is a girl, they call her the queen of mathematics, Faith Odosia. If you check online, it's an household name. This is the third time she's winning the global award of mathematics. And so she's referred to as the queen of mathematics here in Nigerian students. Globally, I'm talking worldwide. So, what are we saying?
There is also a girl that was projected about 2 days ago who is homegrown. He studied in Nigeria, and the father is a lecturer at Unilag, but he had all his papers A's, and the IJMB also all distinctions. And now she has been offered scholarship up to the tune of $5 million to come and study. He said he wants to study molecular and computer biology. Said it's computer biology that he wants to study. So 3 universities, Cambridge has offered him to come. John Hopkins and Harvard, they have asked her to come. So he is now confused on what is the choice that is going to make out of, and he's an homegrown person. So if we have somebody who studied here, not that is partially here, partially there, then it means that there is no way we can say that they cannot perform to their optimum in this place. So that's it.
So what's your opinion about the use of indigenous languages in teaching mathematics?
Yes, it's a very good idea. and it is going to bring very excellent results. Just as my president had spoken earlier, that it had been researched into at Ife, where Yoruba language was used to teach them from the first year in secondary school all through secondary, and the results were compared with the schools where English language was used to teach them, and they found that those particular school, the special school, performed better where their indigenous language was used to teach them. They performed better than where English language, because English language is a second language. The natural one is that of your fatherland. Look at China. You can't get to China to be educated and you will be taught in English. They teach them in their own Chinese language, and that's why they come up better. I believe if we try and embrace this idea of teaching our children in schools in their mother tongue, they will perform better, because they will understand it faster than first trying to interpret the English language into their mother tongue before getting the answer in their mind to bring out. So it will be faster for them to perform better. I think it's a very good idea. And to teach mathematics or any of these sciences in Yoruba language, it will bring better results.
I want to also add that when you look at Germany, Japan, who are at the forefront of technology, it is their mother tongue that is used to develop them, and you see how fast they grew not only in the knowledge but in the application of the knowledge of the science and technology that they learned, because they were able to assimilate it well and adapt it. You see, some of the things we teach in English is because we don't use mother tongue. Some of the things we teach in English, in your mind, you program it, you now redirect it to your own understanding, to your mother tongue understanding, before you start applying it and reacting to it. And that is why you see that a lot of things are done like memorization. When it comes, you see, is English, even when the vocabulary in English is not understood, you don't know what it means. So, but if it is the mother tongue, you understand the meaning of that from the grassroots, from the foundation, and you can go and apply it in your own way. You don't need anybody to tell you. If it is something that you need to discover, you go and use it to discover the thing. But when you are taught in the another language, it makes it a little difficult for you, because you will first of all need to understand both that language and the meaning of what you want to do in that language before you start actually applying it. So it is it's very important. The mother tongue cannot be compared to anyone when you are teaching mathematics. And if you want to get the best, especially in the early years, the formative years of the children, of the students, the mother tongue is basic to it.
alarming statistics in mathematics education in Nigeria indicate that very few students in high school fancy the idea of taking up a course in mathematics at the tertiary level. For many of these students, they see mathematics as a difficult subject, very boring, it has many abstract theorems and all that. So how can we take off this notion from their heads?
It is. I believe it's due to the way mathematics was handled in those days. Those people who were teaching mathematics were not friendly. You know, they made the subject look so abstract and difficult that the children could not cope. And if you want to teach mathematics and you don't use concrete objects to demonstrate or to teach, the children would not be able to follow. And some of the teachers at that time, they just get to the chalkboard and they just write the formula on the board. How these things got to be, none of the children knew. Even the teacher teaching did not know how the formula came to be. You know, that's the essence of mathematics laboratory. When the children are taken through the process of developing or getting to the formula itself that will be used, when they themselves did the practical and they got it, they can never forget. They don't even need to cram. They just, once they see they go ahead and do it. And so that led to a lot of the children running away from mathematics right from secondary school. When the math teacher entered through the first door of the classroom, a lot of them run out of the classroom through the second door or through the window. They run away. And how would such children want to further their education in mathematics when they pass out? In fact, by the time they get out of the area where mathematics is being mentioned, they would never want to listen to mathematics again. So it was due to how mathematics was being handled, and this is part of the things that Mathematical Association of Nigeria are trying to correct.
Before my president talks, I also want to support her, but I want to tell the whole house the basic principle that could be used to enhance or alleviate that problem of students running away from mathematics and the institution. Just like he kept on saying, that the way it was handled. So I came up with what we call the PISA principle, the PISSA. PISA is mathematics should be taught in a participatory method. It should be participatory in nature. It should be interactive in nature. It should be systematic. The way the answers are arrived at must be systematic. It must be systemic. From point one to the last point, it must be systemic. And at the same time, it must be in PISA. It must be interactive. Interactive, systematic, systemic, and also students should be able to ask questions. They should be able to ask questions. Any teacher who goes to a class with a frown face already has forfeited the objective of his visit to that class. Yes. So teachers should go with that PISA principle. It must be interactive. It must be systematic. It must be, participatory. People should be able to ask questions. Any topic or concept taught in mathematics that do not lead to another or lead the students asking questions from the teacher, such a teacher has not done justice to that. So I throw to my president.
Yes. One of the things that needed to be done for students to get away with this phobia is that the teacher need to be friendly with the students. I always say that no teacher of mathematics should go with cane to the classroom. They hate mathematics before, and you bring cane again. Even if for my dog, even if I carry food and take cane on one hand, my dog will move away from me. He won't come near.
Yes.
He said, don't go to classroom with cane in your hand. Yes, you may have stubborn students and so on. When you need a cane to flog a child, ask them to go and bring it, use it, and send it back. Don't go to the classroom. And that's what a lot of teachers used to go into the classroom, especially mathematics teachers, go with, because they know that they will not listen and so on and things like that. So that is one. Two, the atmosphere must be created for children who want to be able to discover. And that's why I said mathematics laboratory is the solution. Now, I'll just take a simple example. If you ask any child, what is the area of a triangle, primary school, he will tell you is half base times height. Period. He will tell you, how did you come about half base times height? He doesn't know. He thought that thing dropped from heaven. And so it's a formula just used. But go to the laboratory and ask every child take a sheet of paper like this. And they take a sheet of paper and you said, okay, what is this? It's a rectangle. And then now say, okay, take your ruler, rule from one end of this part to the other end, and they rule it. Then fold it together this way. So when they fold it, after folding it, you say, okay, tear it into two along that line. You now tear it, say, okay, you have torn it, then place one on top of the other. You say, it is two triangles. It is two triangles. You now say, a rectangle is equal to two triangles. And now the area of a rectangle is already known as length times breadth. Now, if you now want the area of half of that triangle, what is it? It's half of the length times breadth. So the length will now be the base, and the breadth will now be the height. Simple. A child discovers that by himself, not that they just quoted it for him. And so many of such are. So if a child does not go through that in the laboratory to know that this and this are the way, you just be cramming it, and you know what happens to memorization? If you miss one small part of it, that is the end.
You see the way it started, systematic until it becomes systemic. So it should be.
Okay, so can you recommend some textbooks that can help students to study mathematics?
Thank you very much. For Mathematical Association of Nigeria, we have gathered experts on various you call it now, on their own expertise. Those who are in algebra, those who are in geometry, those who are in other areas. We've gathered them together to write textbooks on this subject. And you will agree with me, there is no textbook that can be the best as the one that is written by the experts on this particular subject. So we have man mathematics primary books. We have man mathematics junior secondary mathematics books. We have, this is a man mathematics primary school. You will see that it is well authored, well done to go from concrete to semi-concrete to abstract. The same thing with junior secondary mathematics book. Junior secondary mathematics books by man, and it is also very, very good. In fact, when you look at it, the writing, the texture, even the materials and the pictures, they are all fantastic, and they are in accordance with the syllabus of the schools. With these were taken side by side in writing them. They have been written in ways that children can get the best from it. We have also the senior secondary school mathematics books, senior secondary 1, senior secondary 2, senior secondary 3. So those are the books that we can recommend because we as experts have contributed to it. There's also an exam focus that is also by man. You can see that we completed the cycle, especially for the primary and the secondary school. Thank you.
So before we go, can you, I'm sure there are people out there who want to know how to join the association. So we want to know, how do we join, what are the requirements?
We have 2 sets of members, or 3, let me say 3. 1, those who study mathematics as a teaching subject, automatically they are welcome into the association. There are those who met themselves by accident. They became mathematics teachers in school. They are welcome because we want to train them, we want to educate them, we want to brush them up so that they can fit into what we are doing. Then thirdly are those that are in other vocations, other professions. We have bankers who are members of Mathematical Association of Nigeria. We have accountants. We have some lawyers. In fact, I have a friend, a doctor friend, who is itching to register as a member because he loved mathematics. So we have that third group that are also can be members of the Mathematical Association of Nigeria, and each can contribute its own quota wherever they are and when we come together. So we have this. To join membership, everyone had to go to a state. Every state has a chapter. We grow from state to the national. So if they want to join in the state, our yearly what do you call it? Yearly registration fee is very, 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 very small, very, very minimal. And they can get the form registered. Then when they have been in the association for about 5 years, they can apply to be a full membership. The initial one that they are members is just continue observation. So you now come to become a member. We call them M-Stan. I mean M-Man. We call them M-Man. So when you have spent 5 years, you get a form and you are recommended by your state that yes, is a member in good standing and a financial member in the state. When you become up to 10 years in the association, you can apply for life membership. That's L-Man. So that is another set of membership. There are others that are fellows. Fellows is not for everybody. Fellows are those who have done a lot for the association in one way or the other, and they are recommended by their state to actually honor them, that they have really helped the association both in the state and on the national level, and they do that in order to encourage them to do more. So those are the set of membership that we have.
So our audience, we hope you enjoyed this insightful interview with the representatives of
Mathematical Association of Nigeria.
Association of Nigeria. So we have learned a lot today. Our topic, we just really discussing the topic, enhancing students' interest in mathematics, challenges and solutions. And today we've been able to learn that mathematics is not as difficult as we all think it is. It's just about the approach, and also all stakeholders, government, parents, teachers, school administrators, and even the students, we all have roles to play to make mathematics easy for everyone. We've also seen some of the books which have been recommended for us. We have mathematics for primary school 1 to 6. We have for junior secondary school JS1, JS2, and JS3. And we also have for senior secondary schools from senior secondary school 1, 2, and 3. And we also have exam-focused mathematics. For exam focus, if you are preparing for any external examination, you can use it. Even for internal examinations, you can use it. And it can even be used at the tertiary level. So we thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. Can you please reintroduce yourself?
I'm Dr. S.A. Adedina, a retired mathematician, but not tired. An immediate past president of Mathematical Association of Nigeria.
I'm Mrs. Teresa Oluyemisi Afolabi, the present chairman of Mathematical Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter.
I'm Dr. Aliyu Taiwo, the special assistant to the immediate past national president and the current state business manager, and also the teacher of TESCO, Oyo State.
Thank you. We really appreciate your enlightenment and everything. We'd like to have you here some other time. Thank you very much. Thank you for our audience. Thank you for listening and for watching as always. Once again, I'm Janice Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.